Hello, ranters, and welcome to the Queensland Preview Show. I'm Jacob, maybe the most annoying guy on track in Queensland, and I'm joined by Ollie Monotone Hopkins. Ollie, not the greatest week last week for the tips. Ready to bounce back this week?
For the preview show, it was a bit rough. For me personally, also, it was a bit rough. I laid in gear for my life. That's got to be the lowest race in bloody Queensland metropolitan history. But appreciate the monotone shout out early. Obviously, copped a bit of heat during the week for being monotone. I've never, ever been described monotone in my whole life, but I think it was fair criticism. So I've stooped as low as possible and scraped the barrel to bring you on as a host.
Yeah, look, it is desperate times and it's called for desperate measures. I won't offer much in this little preview show apart from trying to guide the waffle that is Ollie. So apologies, punters, if I don't do that even well. We have one race to look at today, mates. The race 4 at Doomben, 3-year-old quality over 13.50. Favourite is Prince of Boom, $2.60. Star Tontes is $3. Blue is $5.50. Glorious Ruby, $9. Whitewater's $13. You're looking at longer the rest. Firstly, maybe how are you expecting this track to play, and then what horse are you looking to find?
Yeah, well, we come back to Doomben here, and the rail's out 2.5 meters. The sort of 2.5 meter to 4 meter area is usually reasonably fair at Doomben. You still get obviously like the sort of standard preference to be up on speed. Basically just treat it as like a normal track for me in previewing the race, which was small advantage on speed, but mostly fair. I think best horse will usually win.
Fair enough. And there's a boom horse up the top, pun intended there, of Prince of Boom. Had a big rap on it last preparation. I think you found it out of last start, have you?
I have. It's the one I'm pretty keen on it, actually, particularly at the current price of $2.60. Most of these come out of the same race, which is the race that I'm going to pull up now, provided my technology skills don't. Do you have that?
Yeah, I've got that. Yeah, good work, mate. Proud of you.
Most of these horses, I think, 4 of the horses in this race come out of the race that I've got up now, which was the race won by Star Tontes, the stablemate of Prince of Boom. This race was 1,200 meters, over 1,200 meters at Doomben. Now, I've got up the new tool at our disposal in Queensland, which is the Steward's Vision, which has been a long time coming, but it's a really handy tool. It's ironic that I've got this race to showcase it. So as I said, most of the horses in the race that we're previewing come out of this race. Now, if I just roll the tape, the horse coming out of what's labelled Barrier 7, what in actual fact is Barrier 5, is Prince of Boom. Now, Prince of Boom was first up into this race against sort of a few horses that had a couple of runs. Now, if I just... it doesn't like sharing this thing. Just bear with me. Gonna have to reload. We haven't... See, you jump on, mate, and I just lose all... You got your 5G bloody vaccine. You're just screwing with the with my reception here.
I don't know. Conspiracy theories is where we're going.
I actually got my 5G during the week, so maybe it's me. All right, so you can see we got Dittman on Prince of Boom. You got Star Tontes, another horse in this race that we're previewing. That's also in the market, $3. You can see now Prince of Boom just sort of works over well to what would normally be a 1-1 position. You got Jimmy Byrne on the inside of him on, I think, Princess Bojack, I think, is the horse. You just see Jimmy here just shift out and put Dittman on Prince of Boom just out 3 wide. But sort of the main thing I want to see is yet to come, and that's just here. You see Jimmy just absolutely just drop the shoulder into him a couple of times. Now, any horse sort of copying any sort of physical contact in the bump, it can really take it out of them. And then this I mean, that's pretty serious contact early on in the race and just shunts him out 3 wide. We sort of roll it. The horse sort of gets stuck out 3 wide, doesn't really slot back in until sort of, 700 from home. You can see even here as they come round, it's still sort of 3 wide. Now, the horse is first up into this. Then if we roll it forward again, I've got a timestamp there with, we roll it forward to the 407 mark here. Now, this is in the straight, obviously. It's about the 200 metre mark that we get some pretty, the horse sort of starts making its run again, and it gets chopped out for a run pretty seriously again. Has to rebalance up and then find again. Now, after that, if I roll back to the side-on vision, we can see the impact of that sort of check it gets in the straight. So it's about the 250 metre mark about here. The eventual winner, Star Tonte, is given an absolute peach by my boyfriend, Taylor Marshall. Just basically puts him in a pocket, really, to get out, takes the run. Prince of Boom sort of loses a stride there pretty seriously, lost 2 lengths. Finds again and ends up running the 3rd fastest 200 metres of the race here through to the line. I think now it's clearly the unlucky run in the race, but the real key to this horse coming out of this race for me is the twofold. The stable, I think, showed their hand with this horse in this race. This horse was pretty heavily backed, ended up SPing 210. Versus Star Tontes was sort of, basically out the gate in comparison. It was sort of 5s out to $8, I think you could get on the fair late. And that was with Prince of Boom carrying a reasonable amount of condition in the yard and also having quite a bit of improvement to come in the coat as well. So to see sort of that move, which, when you've got 2 horses from the same stable, you can probably put down to a bit of stable money, or at least, the stable not disagreeing with the market. Factoring those 2 things in, I think if Prince of Boom makes the improvement I anticipate into this race, it should go, it should at least put Star Tontes away pretty comfortably. And Star Tontes is about the $2.80 mark for this Saturday. On top of that, it gets I think it's about a 2.5 kilo weight swing on Star Tontes coming into this race. And last preparation, which was Prince of Boom's first preparation, it ran like an absolutely huge figure second up. If it continues that pattern into this weekend, I think it's very hard to beat. Draws barrier 3 here on Saturday, should be able to put itself right up on speed. There's not a great deal of speed in this race. I think, Glorious Ruby's most likely going to take it up. I think Whitewater might try and hold a position, and then you sort of got Prince of Boom will be right there, probably, second pair outside Whitewater. Collet Spirit might kick up. It's going to be right up there. Star Tontes is going to be sort of back with them, at Doomben. I think that's a massive advantage to Prince of Boom. I think 260 floating around now is a great price.
Yeah, it definitely sounds it. The other thing which I thought, stealing a bit of your yard note here, you said the weight swing, that's going to be a big factor. Type of horse Star Tontes is in the yard, which is something you've commented to me when we were there 2 weeks ago. So
yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Like Star Tontes goes up to 57, and as you sort of touch, I mean, Star Tontes has carried that weight before, and it is only over 1350. But you're 100% spot on. It's a small sort of neat horse, and I think that weight jump it will feel it.
The other horse in the market's obviously Bulu's got a fair bit of weight off them. Does that have any hope, or do you have a bit of a knock on it?
I do give it a chance. It sort of didn't have much luck last preparation after breaking its mate, and it was caught wide a couple of times. They put it out and then resumed, I think a couple of weeks ago at Doomben on I think it was a 6 metre rail off the top of my head. And I wasn't at the track, but I was keeping track of the yard through Thoroughbred Central, and the horse was really fresh in the yard, both behaviourally and physically. And then obviously came out and won. Now, the only sort of knock I have on it is that it was sort of buried on the rail and got like a saloon passage basically in the straight up the rail. That was the first race of the day, and the track ended up being like hot inside 3 lanes. I think 6 of the winners were sort of inside 3 lanes for the day, which was pretty hot. So, I mean, it's got that going against it, but from a yard point of view, it can definitely improve, and maybe, you know, it's one I could maybe sort of save on if it does make that improvement in the yard, and you know, its price holds up as well, obviously.
Awesome. So Prince of Boom looks a bet here. Take the 260 early seems to be the flavour. Is there anything else on the card, or do we want to wait till we get your mounting yard analysis on Saturday?
Yeah, nothing really excites me at the moment, to be honest. I think I might have which is weird for me, I may have a couple of angles in the staying race. I think London Banker is pretty short in one of the races. It was, to my eye, probably looking maybe lightening off a little bit last run, or at like peaking. It would be impressive if it maintained its condition coming into this run. So we might have a bit of an angle there, but in terms of early prices, I'd be waiting until Saturday to see them in the yard.
Too easy. So jump onto the Racing Rant, get access to Ollie's yard mail as becoming a gold member. You also get the yard mail for the blokes in Sydney, and also access to their stuff. Thanks, Ollie, for joining me this week on what is now my new segment. Appreciate it.
Thanks, mate.